Hi, my name is Bas Fischer and I'm the Managing Director of Comms Group. Today I'm at AusCERT 2010 in sunny Gold Coast. Right beside me I've got Anton Goldman from Tudor. Tell me a little bit about yourself, tell me a little bit about your company and what makes it different.
Both, thanks for having me on your video cast, really appreciate it. I head up a business called Tudor Australia. We're the exclusive distributors for SanDisk Enterprise and MyToken in the region, and effectively we focus on secure mobility products and solutions, business enablement tools that allow people to work remotely in a secure fashion.
So what would you think are the three challenges that most organizations face today?
I think certainly one of the major areas is the insider threat, where we've come through the global financial crisis and organizations are particularly concerned about data integrity and retaining data where they've got disgruntled and retrenched employees walking off with their data.
Yep.
That's certainly an area. The other thing is getting organizations to actually implement at a user level some of the board level discussions and some of the policy documentation that's drafted, actually getting that into the field and actually having employees take security seriously would be another area. And I'd probably cite the third area is actually proper prioritization and strategy around security and deciding what needs to come first.
That would be a very big challenge. So my question to you, what do you think governments or commercial organizations or entities, what would be the challenges that most directors, executives usually face in terms of choosing technology, in terms of adoption of technology?
I think the first challenge is actually justification. It's how you actually justify a spend on IT security. Where is the value add to the organization? How is it going to make that organization more efficient and in a commercial environment more profitable?
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big challenge to get that over the line.
Yes, that's true. Do you think that organizations tend to wait for a problem to occur, or they tend to be sort of a bit more proactive, given that they might have a security threat or they might want to try and use some form of mitigation to close it down? From your point of view, what do you think it is? What's the driver?
As much as I'm inherently a positive person, I'm a little bit cynical in this area, and I view IT security very much like insurance. And until you've suffered loss or damage or ill health, it's not necessarily something you prioritize. It's something which needs to happen today or tomorrow. And once that loss has occurred, your feelings around security or insurance become very different. So yeah, I think the major motivator is a real incident or real loss to the organisation.
You've done a lot of travel, so how would you rate Australia compared to the rest of the world? Yes, this is just your point of view, so I'd be very curious.
Yeah, in terms of the data privacy framework, it's very surprising in how far behind Australia is.
Really?
When you look at it, it's probably one of the most litigious countries in the world in terms of regulation and how they manage various other aspects of legal framework. But when it comes to data privacy, they're certainly a couple of years behind the US and certainly Europe.
Okay. Where do you think security will be in 5 years' time?
In the cloud.
In the cloud. I mean, everything. Yeah. So what you're saying is basically organizations basically outsource all their data environment into the cloud?
Certainly seeing, I don't know if it's a case of trying to shrug off responsibility, but certainly seeing managed service players coming to the fore. And I suppose just the level of expertise, and as technology advances, it's becoming more and more of a specialist function. And I think organizations are acknowledging that, and they're therefore going to outsource specialist entities that can manage this area for them.
Okay. So how do you see yourself or Tudor actually being part of that picture?
Well, in effect, being a distribution company, it's imperative that we look for vendors that have got clear roadmaps in terms of providing security as a service, having very flexible platforms, not pinning users down to a specific way in which you can work with their technology.
Anton, I'd like to thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.